Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. As most of you know, it's been a couple days since our last Infamous video went up. Now, typically, I would have had the new Let's Play ready to go, and the first episode would have went up on the same day as the last episode of the previous one. It's not that big of a deal this time because we have the Uncharted videos still going up daily, but story time. With Uncharted, retailers like Best Buy and Amazon. I don't know about GameStop, though I try not to do business with GameStop if I can avoid it. Will give out free stuff. And in the case of Uncharted, The Lost Legacy, they were giving out a digital copy of Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, which is the first Jak and Daxter game, also made by Naughty Dog back in the PS2 days. This is the PS4 version. 1080p, high res, that kind of thing. So I was excited about that, and I wanted that because I wanted to replay Jak and Daxter. So I pre-ordered the game specifically to get the Jak and Daxter code. Long story short, probably already too late for that. Between a general mistake, I guess you could say, at the Best Buy that I pre-ordered it at, me and my friend Taz, who you might remember from previous streams on the channel and other things that we've done together. I've probably mentioned him a few times. He pre-ordered it from the Best Buy for me because he owed me a little bit of money, and that was what I asked him to do to pay me back. And instead of giving him the pre-order, they rang it up as a brand new purchase, and we had to go through a customer service nightmare to get the copy of the digital game. They sent him to the store, which the store then told him to call the number that he had called originally to get the code in the first place, and it took like 5 extra days to get the code. Typically, it would have only taken 2, and we would have been fine, but that's not how it worked out. So that's the reason that this video is a little bit late. As I said, this time it doesn't really matter because the Uncharted videos are still going up daily. However, there are a few other things, general information about what's going on in this particular recording. The light is on because it's late at night because I got caught up working on another project and lost track of time. It is what it is. If it starts flickering, it's not my fault. Also, this is an older game, so you might notice some very drastic differences in terms of the way that I'm going to be making these videos. Like with Infamous Second Son and Horizon and all those games, I was taking screenshots using photo mode to get the thumbnails. This game's not going to have a photo mode, so I'm likely going to look up a decent image for Jak and Daxter and just use one image, just like I'm doing the Uncharted game on the channel right now for all the thumbnails, just because it's easier that way than trying to get them. If I can get a good one out of the videos, I'll try, but that being said, let's jump into this. I'm excited to replay this. I haven't actually, click the touchpad to use the select and start buttons. I've never played a PS2 game on PS4, I guess that's how that works. Couldn't you just use options? Alright, start and select are on the touchpad. Alright, so yeah, again, this is an older game. Some of you will obviously, that was really freaking loud, holy crap. Also, I haven't heard that noise in like years. I did play the PS3 version of this game quite a while back. Turn that down a little bit. It's Daxter. Now, if I didn't mention it, yeah, this is a Naughty Dog game, so expect greatness. But a couple more things in terms of this game. I don't plan to, at least at this point, play the second or third game on the channel. We will be playing this, and we will probably be 100%ing it because this game has trophies, so I already fucked up. Alright, start. Yes. creating save. This game does have trophies, and typically, the way that it would work, at least if it has the same trophy set, I don't see why it would.
I have spent my life searching for the answers that my father and my father's fathers failed to find. Who were the precursors? Why did they create the vast monoliths that litter our planet? How did they harness eco, the life energy of the world? What was their purpose? And why did they vanish? I have asked the plants, but they do not remember. The plants have asked the rocks, but the rocks do not recall. Even the rocks do not recall. Every bone in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders of a young boy. Oblivious to his destiny, uninterested in the search for truth, and rejecting of my guidance. And why would he want to listen to old Samus the Sage anyway? I'm only the master of green eco, one of the wisest men on the planet. So it seems the answer begins not with careful research or sensible thinking. Nay, as with many of fate's mysteries, it begins with but a small act of disobedience.
Hey! Jak, old green stuff told us not to come here.
Continue your search for artifacts and eco. If the locals possess precursor items, you know what to do.
Deal harshly with anybody who strays from the village. We will attack it in due time.
What are we doing here anyway, Jak? This place gives me the creeps. Huh? Oh, stupid precursor junk. Eek! What is that dark ooze? It sure don't look friendly. The sage yaps on about the precursors that built this place all the time. Where did they go? Why did they build this crud? Now, I like precursor orbs and power cells as much as the next guy. But if you ask me, they must have been real losers. Wow! How did you do that? Jak, I think we're in trouble! Ow! Man, that stung! I told you we shouldn't have come here, and you listened! What? Okay. I'm fine.
What in green tarnation do you two want?
They was, I was...
Don't tell me! Instead of heeding my wisdom, the two of you went mucking around in the only place that I told you not to go. Misty Island.
That's right, and then...
And, Daxter, you finally took a much-needed bath, but in a bathtub filled with dark eco.
Look, old man, are you gonna keep yapping, or are you gonna help me out of this mess?
I'm gonna keep yapping, because in my professional opinion, the change is an improvement. And besides, I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
What?
There's only one person who has studied Dark Eco long enough to have a chance at returning you to your previous form. Carl Acheron, the Sage. But he lives far to the north. Far, far to the north. Nobody has spoken to him in ages. I would teleport you there, but I can't do that either. None of the three sages that maintain the other teleporter gates have seen fit to turn their ends on for quite a while. The only other way north is by foot through the Fire Canyon, but its volcanic soil is hot enough to melt precursor metal. You can't just walk through it.
But you could fly over it if you had a zoomer equipped with a heat shield. I just happen to be working on such a thing at this very moment. All I would need is 20 power cells to give it enough energy to withstand the canyon's heat. Isn't that right, Daddy?
Yes, Kira, that might work. But where are a boy and a half going to get 20 power cells?
From the villagers. Most of them have a power cell or two stashed away somewhere. And even if they aren't willing to just give them away, greasing their palms with a few Precursor Orbs should do the trick. And I bet there are even more of them out in the wilds just waiting for some brave adventurer to find.
Well, we've got the brave adventurer at least.
Brave adventurer? You two couldn't find your way out of the village without training. Before you do anything else, you better go through the warp gate and get some practice on Geyser Rock.
We won't find any more of that dark gooey eco stuff, will we? 'Cause I'd hate to fall in again and turn into you.
Get in there before I turn you both into ferns.
Okay, are we done talking for a minute? Like, holy crap. This game's longer-winded than their current titles. Alright, I want to check something here. Game? Language English. Sound? Oh, that's fine where it is. Hitting the wrong buttons already. Graphics? It's fine. Okay, so there's no subtitles, so I can't turn subtitles on, so I'm sorry, I apologize. Anyway, like I was saying, I don't remember exactly where I was, so I'm just going to start from where I think I was at. This game, at least on the PS3, if it has the same trophy list as the PS3, basically to platinum the game is just to 100%. There might be a few random things you have to do that don't count toward that, but 100% of the game, if I recall correctly, is platinum trophy. So we will likely be going for that. Now, I don't plan to move on to the sequels. There are 3 of these, actually technically 4, though one of them wasn't made by Naughty Dog. And I don't plan to move on and play those immediately after or at this point ever, because I don't even think they've ported them to PS4, which is the only way I can record them at this point. And I'm looking over there because that's where I am on my screen. I apologize. That being said, what did I just do? Oh, okay. Oh, there's no camera controls.
With it, my father and I can give you advice
this
at
is...
any time during your quest.
I'll just punch this stuff for no reason. This is very much a collectible heavy game as well, so every time I sit down to record, man, every single time, prepare yourselves, because we're gonna be like everything you see floating around the levels, we're going to be collecting it, and it's going to make a noise, and you're going to hear that noise about 4 billion times throughout this playthrough.
These floating egg-shaped things are Precursor Orbs.
Are those enemies? Oh no, they're like scarecrows. Alright. So yeah, you're going to hear that noise a lot. Thankfully, it's not too obnoxious, but... Also, if you've seen or played them yourself, Uncharted, throughout the first, I want to say the first 4 Uncharted games, have hidden items in them that are Precursor Orbs.
20 of these so I can power the heat shield for your A-Grav zoomer.
Okay. And I mentioned that in one of the later episodes of Lost Legacy, because I was expecting to find one at some point in Lost Legacy. But I found a better Easter egg, in my opinion. Alright. Oh, okay. Camera, sorry. Oh. It's so weird seeing that PS2 stuff on the screen. What? When the following? Okay. Thank you. Alright. So I do have camera controls, but it's very limited from what I can tell. Alright, how do I do this? Yes, like that.
Hey,
Ah,
you
one of
found
those.
One of my scout flies. I sent 7 of them to each each area to look for power cells, but the lurkers must have captured them all.
Get up. Now, like I said, right now I don't have plans to play the second or third game, simply because I have no way of actually recording it at the time, and even if it is on PS4 currently, which I don't know if it is. Really? Okay, I was gonna say, you better grab that ledge. I can't afford it, because
Wow!
no job.
That last scoutfly had a power cell. I'll bet if you collect all 7 in each area, you can find even more power
go.
cells.
There's more stuff over here. Now, even though I did, like I said, I played the PS3 version.
That's Blue Eco, which contains the energy of motion. Blue Eco allows you to run fast, break boxes, and even activate some precursor artifacts when
Thank
you
you.
get near them.
Old dude. Like I said, I did play the PS3 version. I never actually finished the second or third one on the PS3 version, but I did play them on PS2 whenever I was super young and a little baby, basically. And it's very much one of those things, and I want to say I know the actual reasoning behind it. I'm not sure if this is accurate or not. Someone could probably tell me. The second game in the Jak and Daxter trilogy is brutally difficult compared to this one and the third one. Even the third one doesn't stand up to the second one, from what I've heard. Granted, I haven't played it since I was about 12. But the second game is just ridiculously difficult. Difficult enough to where I gave up playing it when I was playing it on the PS3 version.
This is a precursor door. It can only be opened by approaching the door while channeling Blue Eco through your body.
Thank you. You gonna give me a tutorial about the grass and the air and the water and everything too? Like, just let me figure it out, man. Oh my god.
That's a Blue Eco vent. More concentrated than the floating clusters. This vent will give you a full charge of Blue Eco, letting you use it for the maximum
Don't get me
time.
wrong. This game is awesome, and I love it, and I'm nostalgic as hell for it. But it's tutorials like this that are the reason that the tutorial in Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon exists. Hey! First one. I want to say there's a full list. Again, I don't even know if it has the same list as the PS3 version. Where am I going? This way. Okay. Hey, double jump? I don't know if you get that ability later. I don't remember. That, yep, I remember that. Straight out of Crash 3. We're basically just going down the line at this point. Like, actually, yeah. Me playing this. It's just fucking rambling at this point. Me playing this means I've played. Well, the only franchise I've actually completed would be, well, technically The Last of Us until the sequel comes out. But Uncharted and The Last of Us, I've completely played them except for. Oh, I can. Technically, the only Uncharted game I haven't played is the one for PS Vita, because I couldn't afford a Vita and still can't. I want one, just specifically to play that game, but the thing that I was trying to say, and I've been trying to say for like 10 minutes now, is with this, I've played every Naughty Dog franchise with the exception of like the old games that they made before Crash Bandicoot, which I need to play actually, because I've never actually played those. And Naughty Dog's my favorite company, so I need to experiment and see what those were like. But yeah, I've played. We've touched on everything Naughty Dog's made since they became a PlayStation company on the channel at this point.
Great! You found
which
all
is
of the
actually
power
kind of nice. I'm
cells
kind
the
of
island.
happy about that.
Come back to the warp gate so I can bring you back to the lab.
So you can
Hurry up.
talk me to death for 16 more minutes. Circle.
Good training, boys. That's nothing compared to the challenges that lie ahead.
Then no problem. We got the moves, eh, Jak? We'd love to stay and chat, Big Green, but we're, itching to get on with our adventures.
Fine, fine. Adventure away, then. And while you're out adventuring, why don't you make yourself useful? My darn green eco-collectors are clogged up again. Head out to the far side of the beach and clear them out, why don't you? Follow the lamps. They'll take you right there. Now, all of you, get out of here!
Someone out there notices what I just noticed. That particular plant. Oh, I love it. That makes me happy. Not as happy as that damn Easter egg that I... Oh, where am I? Where am I? That's still probably one of my favorite Easter eggs, and I'm glad I caught on to it, because if I hadn't, I would have been very disappointed in myself in Uncharted Lost Legacy that I found. Which, still to this day, I think my favorite Easter egg that I found completely on my own has to be Mass Effect 2, when you launch a probe at Uranus and the ship gives you shit for it. It's still my favorite thing. If you haven't seen that, go look up a video, or maybe if I ever get around to playing the other Mass Effect games, like I said I would, I'll do that just to show it off. But yeah, that made me so happy whenever I found that, because it was completely by accident, and I made a joke to my friend that was watching me play at the time. I don't want to talk to you yet. I want to find the scout fly that you're hiding from me. My friend was sitting there watching me play it at the time, and I made a joke to him about, I don't want to talk to you either just yet. Even though all these people give you tasks to complete, and it'd probably be beneficial if I talked to them. But there are other things. But yeah, he was just sitting there watching me play, and I turned to him and I was like, I'm gonna probe Uranus. And then the ship just like just berates you for doing it, and yeah, that's all. I know who that guy is. That's one of those bullshit missions. Actually, it's not. I distinctly remember the mission that guy gives you being a lot harder than it actually was whenever I came back to this on PS3 later. Alright, let's talk to these people while I'm here.
Hey! Little furry dude! Oh, I thought for a moment you were my muse.
Your what?
Haven't you ever seen a muse before? It's a little glowing squirrel about your size, full of spunk, and crazy as a lark.
Oh, I get it. Like a sidekick.
As a matter of fact, without my muse, I just can't sculpt. But with her around, I see beauty in everything, you know? Right now, I couldn't chisel my way out of a box. I think she ran away to that misty island. I just hope she's all right. It's worth a power cell if you bring her back to me.
Wait a minute! We are not going back to Misty Island! Are we?
She ran away to Misty Island. There's a thing somewhere. I hear it. There it is. Give me that. 4. Right. So there's 3 more somewhere. Math skills. Right. This guy is the mayor. Can't remember what he wants.
No, don't tell me that you two have problems as well. The first I hear of monster sightings near the village, and now this. See those gears up there, boys? See them? See how they're not moving? That means our village has no power. The eco beam coming from the jungle temple has been interrupted. And boys, everyone's too frightened to go out and find out what's happened.
Did you pay the bill?
Yeah. Oh, you're funny. Now look, if you two fix the eco beam, I'll give you a power cell. Oh, and another thing, if by any chance you're interested in making a contribution to my re-election campaign, I might be willing to part with yet another power cell. The minimum contribution is a very modest 90 Precursor Orbs.
90. Alright. I think I had like 50 something. Maybe 50 exactly. That's the last number I remember hitting. One of these guys wants me to herd his cattle.
Hello there, my dear boy. You've caught me at a most inopportune moment. I was to set off on my journeys yesterday, but I seem to be a spot short on the old Precursor Orbs. I would have pledged my word that I had 90 of them, but I gather that your young friend, you know, the little annoying, miserably ugly one, might have just pilfered them as a sort of a spot of fun. Anyway, would you be kind enough to loan your dear old uncle 90 Precursor Orbs so he can get underway? I would offer you a power cell in return.
Alright, so we got 3 quests. I know there's at least one more. It's probably in this house. It is in this house. I know it is. Or no, it's in the next one. It's that guy down there. So what's in here? There's a... Oh. Hello, hidden person.
Oh my, what a horribly sick little bird.
You don't look so good yourself, lady.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were a spotted orange-bellied rainfrey. You know, yesterday I saw some terribly vicious creatures capture a mother flut-flut near the beach. Now there's this poor little orphan egg sitting in a nest on the top of the cliff, and I can't get to it. If you could climb up there and push it off, I've piled some hay down at the base to catch it safely. Do an old lady a favor, and I'll give you a power cell.
I'm sorry, but Naughty Dog, they're just fucking geniuses, is what they are. The word mother flut is nothing but an excuse to come as close to cursing as possible without actually doing so. Alright. Let's see. You're the guy that I want to do. I want to say there's a trophy associated with this.
It's you. Oh, just resting my tired bones. I've been trying to get those ornery yak cows back into the pen all day. Some strange creatures tried to steal them earlier. You think you could help an old man and try to get them back into the corral?
Sure, why not? So yeah, like I was saying though, we've played pretty much one of everything. How do can I knock them back in? No, not that way. That way. Go. Go. Get over there. Stop it. Oh god, it's Red Dead Redemption all over again. Stop it. No. That's one. Is there an opening over here? There's not. Faster. Go. There you go. Okay, that's 2. There's one more over here. I think there's more than just these 3, though. Yeah, there's 4. Well, I don't know if that's all of them, but I think there's more than just these 4 then. But like I said, we've touched on everything that Naughty Dog's made except for the extremely old stuff that I never actually played. Because I started playing Naughty Dog games whenever I got a PS1, and Crash Bandicoot was the first game I ever owned for it. So it's one of those things where like I didn't know who or what Naughty Dog was back in the day, but I know one of their games was Rings of Power, because it's an Easter egg in Crash Bandicoot 3. There's a level in Crash Bandicoot 3 called Rings of Power that is a reference to that game. Alright. How many more do you have? Oh, there's one here. Not you. Go. Go. I don't know if they can get out. I don't know if they will or not. Come on. I wouldn't mind seeing this done
That lazy
like
farmer owes us a power cell. Let's go
done
talk
like
to him.
Ratchet and Clank got the treatment. Just leave it alone. Don't do what they did to Ratchet and Clank with it, and take levels out, because I was really disappointed because one of my favorite planets in Ratchet and Clank wasn't in the new game. But just give it a graphical overhaul, brand new graphics. That'd be awesome.
Sleep in peace. Take this
Because Jak and Daxter is great. It's so freaking good. It really is. And like I said, the second, yeah, there was a trophy. That sound is so nostalgic. I have 5 already. I mean, did she need 6? I don't know. Wait. I found 1. I got the flies in the first area. That's what it was. Okay. I was gonna say I don't remember getting 5, but